I found the script to be extremely provocative and very unusual. I didn't really understand how tonally it was going to go until I met Emerald. And she has such a consistent vision and such a specific vision that you kind of just forfeit yourself over to her direction, and it feels very comforting. It feels like you're in safe hands. She's a real visionary, and I'm excited to see how she mends these very different genres of comedy and thriller and darkness and retribution into one insane journey. The way I really found the humor in the script, because my character is just so dark, and the sequences that happen with my character are just so terrifying. And I remember sitting with Carey Mulligan discussing it, and her saying, you know, that she'd been looking for a script like this, something that was really, everything she'd been doing had been so serious and dramatic and dreary, and she wanted something that was really funny and unique. And I remember looking through the script being like, what script are you reading? Because everything I'm doing is terrifying and so bleak. But it wasn't until working with Max and Emerald and kind of seeing the bigger picture, seeing this crazy casting with both Burnham and Jennifer Coolidge, that the comedy elements, and seeing how tickled Emerald would get by these very darkly funny choices that were being made, really sort of opened my eyes to the crazy tone she's aiming for. The easier choice would be to have Al just be pure garbage, just a real terrible human being, and I think it's a much bolder, more nuanced, more complicated dimensional view to see him as a genuinely nice guy who doesn't want a stripper at his bachelor party because it would upset his fiance, and just wants to get married, and he's in love and happy, and maybe he is a different person now than he was, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what happened in his past doesn't matter, and that he shouldn't be held accountable for those actions. I think Emerald had a brilliant tactic for directing this whole film, frankly, but especially the scenes between Carey and I, which is that she was extremely playful, fun, constantly reminding us that this is a film, that this is make-believe, that things don't need to be too serious. I think having that levity as we were shooting the sequences was a much-needed respite from the content itself. It made 3 very difficult days of shooting much more manageable. And I think also, frankly, kept our mental health in check in a really, really, really wonderful way. And also, I think having her lightness reminded us of where this sequence fits in the rest of this darkly comic film. I think if it had been treated with too much with kid gloves, with a quiet set, with no one the stakes would have almost gotten too high. We maybe would have lost sight of what the rest of this film looks like. Carey's wonderful and so insanely committed, and has no. She's full of humility. She's willing to just dive right in. We had stunt doubles here to do this very crazy struggle we have, and she wanted nothing of it. And we just really dove right in. And the result of that, I think, is a very, very powerful performance from us both. I can't take credit for it. I'm just responding to what she's putting out, and what she's putting out is just a remarkable performance. I read this script and I saw this beautiful challenge in this character, and saw a real great just acting challenge, an opportunity to do something I don't normally get to do, and to really have to dig deep for it.